Hello and welcome to the Hot Dog and a Handshake Pro Wrestling Show Classic Review Series. It has already been an interesting little journey to get this one even started.
Yep.
I am
Yes.
Shane Price, joined by Jayden Ginsweiler. Jayden, what show are we trying to do here?
We are doing Money in the Bank 2021. We are bending our 5-year rule a little bit to celebrate Big E. As you, dude, this is our 5th attempt, and we're doing the Big E show. That's why it
Dude, three
happened.
wasn't enough. We needed five, duh.
We needed 5. um, so we didn't think Big E really qualified for what we want to do with Wrestler's Journey. So we still wanted to do something to honor him, as it seems he is officially retired. It doesn't seem like we'll be getting Big E back in the ring. So, like I said, Money in the Bank 2021 from July 18th, 2021, in front of 9,979 people in Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. Byron Saxton, Corey Graves, Jimmy Smith, Michael Cole, and Pat McAfee on the call. I forgot to write down the runtime again, but I can pull that up real fast. And of course, we aren't doing his actual title win because it was just a cash in. It was like a 10-second match. So we're doing the night he won Money in the Bank.
Most of the time, the win of the Money in the Bank is more iconic than the cash in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Dolph Ziggler kind of jumps to mind as somebody who's not, but other than that.
Mm-hmm. That's true. The show was 3 hours and 14 minutes, by the way. So you want to just jump right into these matches?
Yeah, let's get into these matches here. So, first show with fans. So, they want to start it big. They don't really start it big. It is Nikki Ash versus Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Liv Morgan, Naomi, Natalia, Tamina, and Zelina Vega in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Those who played 2K25 will remember this match is fucking awful because of the showcase.
Yeah. My only thing with this match, the whole match was built around Alexa Bliss and her like creepy devil magic that she does, which does raise the question: why have more people not attempted to use magic to win the Money in the Bank? It seems like a
Carmella
sound.
did. I could admit, dude. The Money in the Bank briefcase just fell off of the hook, and they said Carmella won.
Huh? Yeah, that is interesting. I forgot about that. So yeah, Carmella won with magic. Anyway, solid match. Thought the finish was okay. Nikki Ash winning was kind of confusing, I remember at the time, and is still kind of confusing why this happened. But she was over with kids. I kind of get it. It is what it is. It was also just the waning days of Vince McMahon as a. I mean, we were far past the downfall of Vince McMahon as a booker at this point. So yeah, I give it 3 stars.
You didn't even have the big dog to head the table yet, so you were really in the mud. So this match is not really well liked on the Uncaged match. I just looked as a 378.
I think it was a bit. I think that's a bit of a overreaction. I thought it was.
It
solid.
is, but you got to remember they don't like the Devil Magic Uncaged match.
Yeah, that's true.
I gave it 2.5. I thought it was just whatever, The showcase version of this match where Tamina wins, I give 0 stars. Though that shit sucked.
Yeah. The concept of building a Money in the Bank match around someone using spooky, evil magic is one of those things that I'm sure I hated at the time, but doing it now, it's just so dumb. It's kind of awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I
When
can
you're
see
not
that.
living it, it's not so fun when WWE does dumb shit. But when you go back and you're like, how fucking dumb was this? You know, it feels very RoboCop at Capital Combat. That's kind of where it is for me. It's just this is the dumbest thing ever, and it's awesome. So that might be why I liked it more than the average cage match user. They do after this cut to a backstage with Roman and the Usos, and dude, the Bloodline story used to be so good. The Bloodline used to be so awesome. That for from when it started in like the fall of 2020 with the Jay Roman um fucking rivalry all the way up to like WrestleMania 39, Bloodline was awesome.
It
What
really
we
does
got,
suck that the build from 39 to 40 was awful
mm-hmm.
because 40's match was really, if they just replace 40's match with 39's match, I think everybody's talking about how awesome it was.
Yeah, because they did the class, what we would become to know the classic WWE thing in the Triple H new era, where they did it too late. The right time was to put the belt on Cody at 39. And I argued this at the time on this podcast, and I'm arguing it now. That was when the Bloodline story stopped being good. That was when everything went downhill. Jey Uso used to be a fine singles wrestler. I don't know what happened. Like, yeah,
I know
he wasn't
exactly. I know
he wasn't
exactly what
Mr.
happened.
Perfect, right? But he was fine.
I know exactly what happened, Jey Uso, dude. It's very, you can clearly like this. You can time the downfall. Do you know when that downfall was?
Was it when he won the tag belts with Cody and had the drunk interview?
I don't know what the fuck he drank, but it's been stuck in his system ever since.
That's true, dude. He drank some sort
Dude
of
had
evil
that forbidden
potion.
forbidden fruit wine.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. He drank the he drank the henny that turns you into Heath Slater.
Hey, he's got kids.
You want to get on to the Raw Tag title match here?
Yeah. So we have the Viking Raiders, War Machine, the Viking Experience, I think they were called. A
Dude,
lot
I
of
forgot about the Viking experience.
dude, a lot of names for one goddamn tag team. I
I
can
forgot
so,
when Vince made them the Viking experience.
I love the story of that, and I think I'm gonna tell it just in case somebody doesn't know. They probably do. They're listening to this, but they were called up, and Vince was like, "One of you is Ivar, one of you is Eric, and you're the Viking Experience." And
Because in NXT, so in to backstory, Ring of Honor, they were
War
uh,
Machine,
Hanson and Rowe War Machine.
yeah,
NXT, they were Hanson and Rowe War Raiders because WWE had recently gotten in trouble for calling Claudio the Swiss Superman and trying to trademark that. And they couldn't trademark War Machine because that's a Marvel Comics character. They'd get in trouble for that too. So they had to be the War Raiders.
it's so funny how often that we get in trouble with Marvel comics. Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan,
Marvel and DC, yeah.
Hulk Hogan, War Raiders, CM Punk. Oh God, are
Yeah.
they missing anything? Well, probably a lot.
So they were the War Raiders, and then Vince brought them up.
As the Viking Experience.
Yes.
Um, they immediately were like, "This is terrible. This sucks." So they went up to Vince immediately and said, "Yeah, we don't want to be that team name. We're going to be something else." And Vince is like, "Well, you got to run that new name past legal, so this week you're going to be the Viking Experience."
Yeah. and then now they're the Viking, and then they became the Viking Raiders.
Now they're
And
back to
then
War Raiders.
now they're back to War Raiders because they're under Triple H, and Triple H made that change when he took over. And they are taking on. I don't think we've even mentioned it yet.
The greatest tag team simply of all time. No other tag team gets even close for how impactful, for how much legacy. That's right. AJ Styles and Omos.
Yep.
Rise, all my Homo sapiens.
What a time. AJ Styles, who standing in the ring is barely taller than Omos when he's standing on the floor. Just a great pairing. This was honestly a pretty fun match, mostly because Omos wasn't involved in very much of it. I liked the dynamic between the teams. I liked the way they worked around Omos's
lack of
inabilities.
You're being nicer, I'm not.
To be kind, yeah, to his dog shittedness.
And
But honestly,
they should have brought Team 2000X almost on us. They've been sick.
Yeah. Honestly, though, it ended up making something pretty good here, putting it together. I gave this 3.5 stars.
Yeah, because everybody in this match has been a champion of a Japanese wrestling promotion, dude. So of course,
that is true.
I'm gonna give it 3. I liked it too. I've always kind of been like an Homo sapien, I guess. I've always like kind of a little soft spot for Homos. I know he sucks, but like I think I don't think the Giant has been fully phased out of wrestling in a way. I think there's room for it. I think Omos is the next, is like the closest we got to that.
It's getting phased out,
unfortunately.
On to the next match.
The next match is, oh, brother. Do you remember Bobby Lashley's gimmick at the time, like the year before this, when he showed his ass off to everybody?
The year before this?
It was either 2020 or 2021.
Okay, so his gimmick at the time of this was the original Hurt Business, Hurt Syndicate, kind of the first run at that. That was incredible. It was a great run. 2019, I remember being terrible. That was when they did like Bobby Lashley's sisters, and they did the gimmick or the storyline where he was like taking Lana from Rusev. And then
I was wrong.
That ended weird.
Late 2018.
Dude. Bobby Lashley had a weird run over there.
When Bobby Lashley pointed at his butt with Leo Rush, that was...
Oh, yeah, Leo Rush was his manager for a while.
And he was pointing at his ass.
Yeah.
What a strange time. We should really talk about 2018-19 WWE more often. I don't think so, but we should.
Well, it was such a weird time because then wasn't there like a glimmer of hope when Paul Heyman took over Raw or SmackDown? He took over one of them, and Bischoff took over the other. And I think it was Heyman's Raw was just fucking awesome for like a few months.
Yeah, during COVID when Heyman was the main booker of Raw and he gave Aleister Black like 43 minutes.
Yeah, that kind. Yeah. So it was during the pandemic when that started.
He took over.
I feel like it started before the pandemic and then carried over into the pandemic.
I think he started as the head of SmackDown, but then
did he? And then they switched it around.
But then they switched it around.
Heyman and Bischoff started as SmackDown and Raw or whatever, and then Heyman's show was doing really good and Bischoff's show was dog shit. So they switched it around and gave someone else SmackDown, and Heyman took over Raw. Not even that long. It was like 2 months into this whole experiment. They switched it around. And then Paul Heyman's Raw was great. It's some of the best that Aleister Black has ever been. It's some of the best Austin Theory has ever been. So many guys down the list. It was kind of the template for the Buddy Matthews that we have in AEW was kind of Buddy Murphy with Seth Rollins in doing the Monday Night Messiah gimmick.
Heyman's Raw was April 2019 and June 2020.
Okay, yeah, and then Vince took a good chunk of the Hurt business was under Heyman. Like Heyman figured out how to use Lashley in a way that Vince McMahon just never had been able to. Yeah. So this match, though, kind of just the public murder of Kofi Kingston again. I mean, it lasted longer than the Brock match, but still, Kofi did not get barely anything in here. What do you think of the match?
It was really the Bobby Lashley showcase of looking beefy and strong and shit. Very much a Vince McMahon thing. He's a big dude. Vince McMahon loves big dudes. Given what we know now, there was something named after Lashley in his office. So,
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
it explains why he won this match so overwhelmingly.
Yep. I still thought it was a pretty good match for a beatdown, all things considered. I thought it was well done for a kind of beatdown.
It was a long beatdown, though. We're talking like 8 minutes or so.
Yeah, so I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was pretty good. It was not terrible.
I gave it 2 3/4. Like I like a good beatdown match, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was too long.
Yeah, that's fair. On to the women's title.
The women's title, Raw women's title match was Charlotte Flair, the challenger, versus Rhea Ripley. Oh no, this is Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
I'm frozen on my end, but I can still hear you. So we'll just cut this part out.
Oh, okay.
I'm back.
Yeah, you've been freezing on and off since then. I think it's been fine the whole way through.
Okay. So
Charlotte Flair in this match, it would in her entrance gets the most mixed reaction I've ever heard. And I realized it's because she's the baby face in this, but you could only have Charlotte as a baby face when there are no fans in the building, because otherwise she's like the least likable person ever. Like her character has never been someone who's likable.
Her character,
so she's gonna get boos.
Look at my last name. That's me. That is me. My daddy made me. Me.
Yeah. So babyface Charlotte only worked when there were no fans in the arena. And then they tried carrying that into bringing fans back, and people were just like, nope. Not going to happen. Nope. Don't like this. And so they
don't like the Nebo baby.
So they were more for Rhea Ripley here. This was starting to kind of get a simmer of like Rhea Ripley being... I don't think anyone at this moment thought Rhea Ripley would end up being the most over person on the planet. But you were starting to kind of get a simmer of like, they really have something here with Rhea Ripley. She is going to be great. This is, you know what she needs? She needs a weird vampire stable with Edge. That'll really push her to the top. And you know what?
It worked for Edge and Christian.
Yeah. Hey, and it worked for Rhea too.
But it worked for Edge and Christian.
Yeah. This match was too long. It wasn't great. There were parts I liked. I didn't completely hate it. I think it was just a little below average. I'm going 2 1/4.
I'll go 2. I thought it was, I never liked Charlotte Flair, so
yeah, neither have I.
I think Rhea Ripley's not there yet to carry somebody like Charlotte to a good match.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, on to the match we're here for.
The men's Money in the Bank match. We're looking at John Morrison for some reason, Kevin Owens, King Nakamura, Ricochet, Seth Rollins, Matt Riddle, Drew McIntyre, and Big E.
Hmm. Do you remember how you felt at the time
Uh, I do
with this
actually.
match?
I do. I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay. So you weren't watching WWE at the time.
No, no.
Okay. I remember I had been watching. I don't know if I was, watching every week, but I've been catching, Raws and SmackDowns as much as I could, and watching the pay per views. Um, and I remember this being kind of a weird Money in the Bank because I didn't quite know where it would go. I knew John Morrison wasn't going to win. I had experienced enough WWE. I'd been watching closely enough to know that Nakamura was never going to do anything. And I was early on hating Matt Riddle. I just want to put that out there. I hated him from day dot. The moment he showed up in NXT, I was like, I do not like this guy. He does not give off a vibe that I like. And I was right. So it's like, I really don't want them to give it to Riddle. And I didn't think they would give it to Ricochet. So I was like, it's Seth, it's Drew, it's Kevin. And there's this kind of simmering Big E thing that people were getting behind. And it was like, will they actually pull the trigger and put the briefcase in Big E's hands? And I wasn't sure they would do it. Vince doesn't have the greatest history of pushing black talent. But they did, and it was awesome. It was absolutely the right choice. It was awesome in the moment, getting to see Big E get this crowning moment and just knowing that there was a really good chance he was going to be WWE champion sometime in the next year from that was awesome. Um, so yeah, I don't know what you thought. What did you want to get into the match? I guess.
Yeah. I remember like seeing who won this right after it happened. Like, oh, that's cool. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I had to look up what the hell was King Nakamura when that happens.
Didn't
It's a bit-
he?
he won
He
it
didn't
from he won it from
from
whoever
Woods.
won. Yeah, from Woods.
He won it from Woods. Yeah.
I
Uh,
think that your choices here legitimately were just Kevin Owens and Big E to me.
yeah. In this kind of thing, I could have never ruled out Seth Rollins. Um, and also Drew was still pretty hot. He wasn't WWE champion anymore, but he still had the momentum of carrying WWE through the pandemic and all of that. Something we talked about this week on the pod. But so I still was like, nah, I could see them having Drew get it and then using the Money in the Bank to get his title back or whatever. But no, the Big E thing was absolutely the right choice. Owens would have been cool too, but Big E was absolutely the right choice. Just like we talked about earlier with the Bloodline, how Triple H didn't have Cody win at the right moment. How he never seems to do things at the right moment. This was the right moment. Having Big E win this Money in the Bank was
Yeah,
the
'cause
right
that's the
moment.
one thing Vince McMahon could do well. If he did something right, it was usually at the right time.
It was at the exact right time. Yeah. So
Kofi
I
Mania,
thought it
he
was
gave
a
in, but he did it. He did it
yeah.
still.
Yeah, I thought this was a solid match. I thought there was some fun spots. More importantly, for a Money in the Bank ladder match, there was some dumb shit. There was just some like crazy ladder hits and goofiness, but that's that's neither here nor there. So 3.5 stars.
I gave it 3.5 as well. That was a pretty good match, but it wasn't. It wasn't like spectacular in a way. It
Yeah.
was just kind of
Yeah.
whatever. But it was still good for what it was.
Yep. All right. On to the main event.
Hang on, I lost the page. Give me 1 second. The main event was I thought for some reason I always could stop that Money in the Bank should be the main event of Money in the Bank. Like the
Yeah.
Rumble, like Survivor Series, like Hell in a Cell, like TLC.
Sometimes with Money in the Bank, I understand having a match that's a little bit bigger than the Money in the Bank. I think this is a fine example. The ultimate example is Punk and Cena in 2011,
Yeah.
which is on the schedule for later this year. We should be getting to that later this year. For the 15th anniversary. But I think this is fine. I don't really have any qualms with it. Edge is a certified legend, absolutely one of the greatest of all time. Roman Reigns was the most over guy on the planet as a heel at this moment. Like, he was stupid over even as a heel. Maybe not the most over guy on the planet. I can't remember exactly what was going on in AEW and New Japan at the time, but you know what I mean? The most over guy in WWE for sure.
There's nobody in AEW who was getting Roman level reactions. I don't think so. I don't think. Maybe Kenny at the most.
Maybe was this no, this was the year after Belt Collector, or was this the Belt Collector year?
This is after.
This is the year after the Belt Collector.
Because they were already done TNA at this point, I think.
Oh wait, we're coming up on Brawl Out here, aren't we?
No, we're coming out on Punk's debut.
Oh, we're coming up on Punk's debut. I'm a year behind. Okay, so we're coming up on Punk's. So Punk, if Punk
has yet to join the company. He doesn't count.
He isn't in AEW yet. Okay. So yeah, I don't think anybody.
2 months he would be the most over guy in the world.
In the world, yeah. This match, one thing I liked about it was this was back when the Bloodline shenanigans weren't as lazy and played out and annoying. You know, it was still interesting. I really felt like the run-ins in this match were earned. I liked the Usos trying to get involved, and I really like the Mysterios being the ones to take them down, not just because of the match that happened on the pre-show, but because of the relationship Ray has with Edge throughout their careers. I thought that was really awesome that that Ray was the one to help save Edge. Even though, like, I watched this in 2021 when it happened, I know how this story plays out. I know when Roman loses the title. Part of me, for a couple seconds in this match, thought Edge could win. Like, that's when you know you're watching something pretty good.
That, I think, is Roman's, like, the best part about Roman's, like, entire career. That during his peak, during his biggest matches, it really did feel like, oh my god, wait a minute, he's gonna lose this. Oh my god, hold on.
Yeah. That's what made it really good. Of these, you know, yeah, it reminds me of Drew in Scotland, Sammy in Montreal, Cody the first time around. Like, it's even watching those matches back, there's part of you that's like, oh my god, Roman's going to lose this match. And it's just, you're right. It is, Roman is the common denominator. I think Edge does a great job too. Obviously, he's fucking Edge. He's a Hall of Famer in every right. But Roman does do that really well. You're right. I gave this 4 1/4. I thought this match was fucking awesome.
I gave this 4. Mm-hmm. I agree, it is awesome. I think it's not the best Roman defense I think I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. There's ones that are even better, but
yeah. Oh, the Jey Uso Hell in a Cell I Quit match was another one that was really. That's probably the that or Danielson and AJ. Those are like the 2 best matches that came out of the pandemic era. Like, the only 2 that I would ever consider going back and reviewing from the no fans era of WWE are those, because that Hell in a Cell I Quit match with Jay is truly awesome, and you truly think Roman is gonna lose at certain points.
Well, the first Mania with fans is also really good too. The triple threat.
Yeah, I remember it being pretty good. I remember that one, the Bianca Sasha match. I remember really liking that.
It did also have Randy Orton versus The Fiend.
It had who?
Randy Orton versus The Fiend.
Oh yeah, that was dumb and bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's never perfect with WWE, you know. It's never perfect, except for ECW One Night Stand 2005.
Yes,
Then it's perfect.
that is true.
Then it is
But
perfect.
that was Paul Heyman. So
But that was Paul Heyman. Yeah. All right. Into categories.
yeah, let's start with best moment.
It's Big E winning the Money in the Bank.
There's no other. There's no other option. There's no other
There's no,
option.
yeah, really no other option. It's great. MVP of the night. Obviously, Big E's moment is huge, and we're doing this for Big E. I don't think he has the great full performance. I think that has to go to Roman. I think Roman was so good in this match against Edge. I think it has to go to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Heat check. Best performance in a short amount of time. I thought the Usos in that backstage segment did really good, and then they show up in the end and play their role really well, getting kicked out. I think the Usos could get this for me.
I'll agree with that.
Especially
I could see
Jimmy,
that.
because at the time he was really playing that I'm not fully bought into this thing.
I still can't believe it was Jay who turned on Roman, not Jimmy. They built that for so long.
But Jay got the fucking yeet thing over, and that's what made it.
Yeah.
Gear of the night. I was a fan. Biggie's solo run. I did like his comic booky gear quite a lot, but grizzled old man Edge just always has great gear. From the moment he came back in that Rumble in 2020, he's just always had great gear. It gives you the feel of Edge from the past, but it also has this grit to it. It has this very very Logan feel. You know what I mean? Where it feels a little dustier, a little dirtier. It's the same Wolverine you've known forever, but it's a little different now. And I really have always liked the way his gear has portrayed this part of his career. So I think I'll probably give it to Edge here.
Yeah. Okay. I can agree with you there.
Apex Mountain. I think this is the beginning of the Apex Mountain for Big E. I think he probably actually hits his apex when he does cash in and win the title. But this is kind of, you're getting towards it here. I think the rising action here starts with the Intercontinental title. The last time he won it, not way back when he was with Dolph Ziggler, but the last time he won it, all the way up to peaking at that WWE title. Is this Lashley's apex?
No.
That hurts. That first Hurt Business run?
No.
When would you say it is then?
TNA.
TNA, okay.
He was the man. The Hurt Business was awesome, but he was the man.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. Omos. Is Omos Apex Mountain tag champs with AJ Styles?
No, the Jimmy I think it's right now. I think it's his Noah and AAA run.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I haven't watched much of it, so. What about Nikki, almost a superhero? Nikki Ash. Is her Apex winning Money in the Bank? Or is it, I guess it's probably actually winning the title.
Yeah,
it's probably actually
it's this and then winning the title, yeah.
This tees up her Apex Mountain, kind of like Big E, yeah. I mean, just as an exercise, when do you think Roman actually hit his exact peak? When do you think? And you can argue that he had hit his peak by this point and just stayed at his peak until 2023. That is kind of a valid argument that he was just at his peak for 2 or 3 years there. I don't know. When do you think it actually hits for Roman that this is the best of his career?
2022, 23.
22, 23.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. Let's see. 22. He beats Lesnar. And then, you know what might be the peak of the peak? Is that as much as I hate to give Lesnar any crumb of positive feedback. That SummerSlam where Lesnar brought the fucking like tractor thing out, the like construction
Yeah,
machine, and
yeah.
brought the like that might be like when Roman's shit was at its best because that match was awesome even before he brought out like a full cat machine.
Unfortunately, that Lesnar one was really fun. It's too bad, he's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. All right, recasting. We could do the main event. I think doing the men's Money in the Bank would be fun too. What do you want to do?
I think we should do the main event because I think the Money in the Bank. I'm not going to be sure on how to do it.
Okay. Okay, so the main event, Roman and Edge. Um, I think Cody is fully established in the Roman Reigns world right now. I know he's not a heel, but he's the top dog of the company. He is the guy with the title. He is, the face of everything. So I think you have to put Cody Rhodes there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh, dude, heel Cody Rhodes running new legacy. you you can't call it
running,
new legacy
you
because when
can't
you
call it
look
New
up new
Legacy.
legacy, you're gonna get fucking John Blood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Legacy 2. Running El Hijo del Legacy.
You can get you okay. I'll just call it new
What would be
legacy.
the well? It
And
had to be a new word because it would have to be. It's in a trilogy because it's evolution into legacy into
that's
whatever you
right.
would call the next one. So it would have to be like um what could I don't know, like heritage or tradition.
I mean, tradition would work because Cody's 2K26 thing is that, and it would still be like legacy where it's like these like all like second generation guys is what I was going for.
Yeah. I thought of Progress, but then that's also a wrestling company. So that looking up Progress Wrestling would bring up a different thing.
I would
Um
think you
yeah,
would get
tradition would be a good one.
Brooks Jensen, and like
Hell yeah.
Charlie Dempsey.
Yeah. That is or I mean it doesn't have also it doesn't have to be directly what Legacy was because Legacy wasn't directly what Evolution was. It was a different take on what Evolution was,
That's true, but
using the theme of second gen people. So
I
it
still
could
want
just be
Brooks
any
Jensen.
great up and comers. It could be, any great 38-year-olds that are about to hit the WWE benchmark, like Ricky Starks or Ethan Page,
L.A. Knight.
LA Knight. Yeah. People that Cody could really raise up.
I
Um,
heard there's this up and comer called Action Mike Jackson. I think he's perfect at that movie.
there we go. There we go. So Roman back then is Cody now. Who's Edge now? A vet who would be a dream match for Cody. Something we haven't seen, but is on the level of like the Edge match for Roman. Trying to think like who he hasn't already gone through this with. Who would
Oh,
be
that was Rumble 2005. That was on 25, so can't be that one. Um, we never. He's retired though, so that wouldn't work. Well, Edge did come back.
yeah. What about let me look up some I need to make sure this match hasn't happened already.
Dude, I was about to say John Cena. I totally forgot about WrestleMania from last year. that wow, it tells you how bad that title run went.
Yeah, yeah. God, I gotta think of. Have they done the Cody Punk match?
1-on-1, no.
No. I think that's kind of. I think that's what it would have to be.
Yeah, I could see
Because
that.
they were all the same team in War Games, same team here. Rumbles. Yeah, since Punk has come back to the company, they were in the same Royal Rumble. They were on the same side at a house show, on the same team on a dark match, and on the same team at War Games. So I think it would have this would be Cody Punk,
Which
which
would
would
probably be a good match.
which is it's arguably the best match WWE can put on right now that they haven't already done.
Yeah, they
Um,
both hold the belts till Crown Jewel.
yeah. Well, did they do that this year?
I think so.
No, I don't
I
remember.
didn't watch Crown Jewel.
I didn't either. Um, Crown Jewel
Yes, they did.
2021. They did. Okay. That was the one where AJ and Cena happened, right?
No, that was Rollins. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah. So that's the only thing I was paying attention to from that show was AJ and Cena.
and Roman,
All right.
Roman, and Roman did the job for Bronson Reed, brother.
Awesome.
That works for me, dude. Just
Best double feature. We could take this a couple ways. We could do something with the main event. We could do something with Big E Money in the Bank win.
oh,
Big E winning Money in the Bank with the Kofi chamber where you realize this is real and can happen. I think
the
would be great.
Usos versus New Day. Hell in a Cell, I think was their best match.
That one, the Usos do to Hell in a Cell fucking rips, dude. That match is awesome. That'd be a good one. I like as far as like just kind of the emotional place of it. I really like this Money in the Bank match with Kofi in the Chamber in
Yeah,
2019.
yeah, I agree.
Wrestling Criterion Collection. I don't think anything goes in from this. So, classic hot dog, classic handshake. You cannot pick Big E winning Money in the Bank. What are you going with for the classic handshake here, Shane?
The main event.
Edge, yeah, Edge versus Roman. That's what I did too. I take Edge and Roman, and let's rate the show out of 10. What is your rating for Money in the Bank 2021?
I would say 6. No, yeah, I'll say 6.
Okay, I went 6.5, so we're right, kind of on the same page again
We
here.
quit doing that shit.
Yeah, we haven't been. The farthest apart we've been this year was I gave Rumble 06 a 6 and you gave it a 7. So,
Ha.
6, 7. But, all right. I think you can take us out of here. You want to tell them what we're
And
doing next week?
as I alluded to at the beginning of the show, we have the AJ Styles Wrestler's Journey coming up next week.
Yeah,
We're gonna
this
start.
AJ and Omos match was a preview for that.
Yeah, it'll be in there for sure. We'll spend half an hour on
Oh yeah,
almost
no,
for sure.
it's just 10 AJ and Omos matches. That's the whole.
There were
It's the whole
10
thing.
AJ and almost matches, dude.
Well, yeah, they're tag champs, man. They had a bunch of matches together.
We have any house show loop matches? Is that what's going on?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Some of them are filmed on like an iPhone, like 12.
Oh, well, okay, whatever. I've watched wrestling shows filmed on worse. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, 10 matches. We're starting with his major debut in WCW, not his debut, but like one of his first matches in WCW up until I'm not
His
sure
debut
when.
to America, to like a national audience, yeah. Up
We can,
until
I mean, we can watch
we'll
his
rewatch
debut.
his we'll rewatch his last match with Gunther. That'll be I think the last match on it. So
Okay, so we'll go from his first TV appearance to his last TV appearance, pretty much.
yep,
Cover
that figures out.
everything
Yeah.
but Wild Side. So that is it. And for us here, just enjoy wrestling.